ಓಂ ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರುಭ್ಯೋ ನಮಃ. ಹರಿ ಓಂ. ಓಂ ಗುಂ ಗುರುಭ್ಯೋ ನಮಃ. ಓಂ ಗಂ ಗಣಪತಯೇ ನಮಃ. ಓಂ ಐಂ ಸರಸ್ವತ್ಯೈ ನಮಃ. ಓಂ ಗಣಾನಾಂ ತ್ವಾ ಗಣಪತಿಗುಂ ಹವಾಮಹೇ ಕವಿಂ ಕವೀನಾಮುಪಮಶ್ರವಸ್ತಮಂ ಜ್ಯೇಷ್ಠರಾಜಂ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಣಾಂ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಣಸ್ಪತ ಆನಶೃಣ್ವನ್ನೋದಿಭಿಃ ಸೀದಸಾದನಂ. ಓಂ ಶ್ರೀ ಮಹಾಗಣಪತಯೇ ನಮಃ. ಓಂ ನಮಃ ಶಿವಾಯ ಗುರವೇ ಸಚ್ಚಿದಾನಂದಮೂರ್ತಯೇ ನಿಷ್ಪ್ರಪಂಚಾಯ ಶಾಂತಾಯ ನಿರಾಲಂಬಾಯ ತೇಜಸೇ. ಓಂ ಯಸ್ಯಾತ್ಮಬೋಧಸ್ಯ ಗುರುಪ್ರಸಾದಾತ್ ಅಹಂ ವಿಮುಕ್ತೋಸ್ಮಿ ಸಂಸಾರಬಂಧಾತ್ ಸರ್ವೋಪದೇಷ್ಟು ಶಿವಾನಂದಮೂರ್ತೇಃ ಮೃದ್ವಗ್ರಿಯುಗ್ಮಂ ಪ್ರಣತೋಸ್ಮಿ ನಿತ್ಯಂ ದಯಾಸಿಂಧುಂ ದೀನಬಂಧುಂ ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರಾರ್ಥಬೋಧನಪಟುಂ ಮಸ್ಕರೀಂದ್ರವರಂ ನೌಮಿ ಶ್ರೀಚಿದಾನಂದಸದ್ಗುರುಂ. ಓಂ ಪ್ರಾಣಿನಾಂ ದುಃಖಹರ್ತಾರೌ ಜ್ಞಾನದೋ ಭುವನಮುಕ್ತಯೇ ಶಿವಾನಂದಚಿದಾನಂದೋ ಆಶ್ರಯೇ ಗುರುಸತ್ತಮೋ. ಓಂ ಓಂ ನಮೋ ನಾರಾಯಣಾಯ. 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 ಓಂ ನಮೋ ಭಗವತೆ ವಾಸುದೇವಾಯ. ಓಂ ನಮೋ ಭಗವತೆ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರಾಯ. ಓಂ ನಮೋ ಭಗವತೆ ಶಿವಾನಂದಾಯ. ಓಂ ನಮೋ ಭಗವತೆ ಚಿದಾನಂದಾಯ. Patanjali starts his sadhana pada with Kriya Yoga. Tapaswadhyaya Ishvara Pranidhanani Kriya Yoga. Austerities, study of the scriptures and surrender to God constitute the Kriya Yoga, sadhana. And this will help you to turn the mind inward. Samadhi bhavanarthaha kleshatanu karanarthascha. In order to wipe out the impediments, the problems, the afflictions, and also to turn the mind inward. What are those afflictions? He says 5 afflictions are there. Avidya, asmita, ragadvesha, abhiniveshaha, kleshaha. Ignorance, sense of ego, attachment, hatred, and fear. And then he says, although there are 5, only one is there mainly, that one is projecting all the 5. Avidya is the cause for all the 5. And this is very subtle. This is very subtle and you cannot directly handle that. So the effect of that is you can handle. You cannot directly handle the cause. The effect you can handle. The effect comes in the form of thoughts which disturb you, Your disturbance in life, your problems are all thoughts only. So, this can be handled. Dhyanaheyaha tadvrtayaha. Up to that I covered, and the next sutra I was Kleshamulaha karmashayaha drishta adrishta janma vedaniyaha. This I was to cover. Kleshamulaha karmashayaha drishta adrishta janma vedaniyaha. The cause for all these problems, including avidya, is that cause appears as karma ashayaha, impressions in the mind. That you have acquired in this birth. Probably you have carried it through from earlier experiences also. Now I will answer your question. Hari Om. What was your question yesterday? Now
this is a recommended textbook. Only one sentence which this author has mentioned.
Okay.
I am not able to figure out what it means.
Okay, what is that?
It says here, in the last paragraph of this commentary, it says, they will fructify in this birth, which one is experiencing now, or in future births, if one does not burn them up by meditation.
Okay.
What does that sentence mean?
Which one you understand?
What is the meaning of burn them up in meditation?
That I will tell you. Okay. That drishta adrishta janma vedaniyaha. See, when someone writes, he has got certain ideas. And when you read it, you have got. So never a subject is learned from books. It should be learned from a teacher. Because the doubts are cleared by the presence of the teacher, not by his words. You understand, oh, he is right. That understanding comes from the person and not from the books actually. Whenever you go to a master, you look at him and he convinces you. It is not the book that convinces. That is one of the reasons I told you not to refer any book. This book I use for this sutra only. I made it very clear. I asked you not to read, not to write also. Not to write. I told you that I will write the commentary on your mind. And you unnecessarily pick up something that way. Now I will clarify that down. Klesha, all problems are our thoughts. This is a very important sutra also. Not this sutra, what I am now telling. All our problems are problems of our mind. If there is a scorpion underneath, if I am not aware, no problem. If a scorpion underneath, I am aware that it has been thrown out, then also the fear will be there. Okay? Here, once after the classes are over, they removed the cushion. There was a scorpion. So the boy was sitting over that scorpion only. Nothing happened. All of them have completed their course and gone. Nobody bothered about it. Now the day you come here, sometimes there will be a scorpion underneath your cushion. If I tell you what will happen, what will happen to you? Every day you lift and see, and some fellow will have all the time fear. They will looking like this. We have also experienced, although I speak about it. Once a centipede was there in my chapel. I put my chapel and something was biting. I took it out and found a centipede. Centipede, you know. And then afterwards, every time for nearly 1 week, I will lift it and see whether it is there. And even the centipede's bite is not that severe, but still you have the fear. So the impressions in the mind are the problems. The karma means not the karma, it is the impressions actually. When you say the town is sleeping, the town will not sleep. the people in the town will be sleeping. So we use such expressions which the direct meaning is not taken, indirect meaning is taken. So many words are there. Ganga is full means what? Ganga cannot be full. The water is full actually. So these are certain usages in all the languages we use. They are called lakshana. So the problems in life, karma ashayaha. Karma ashaya means the impressions you carry are the cause for the affliction, or cause for all the problems, are the response that is generated in your mind. The response in your mind, the impressions that carry in your mind. That is your problem. Do you agree to this, or you have doubt about it? Even if a fellow is a murderer, he is sitting near you, and he gives you an apple, you will take it and eat. You will not know. I saw a train, you are traveling, somebody gives something, we don't suspect anybody, we just eat. The moment you know that he is a murderer, he has used to poison the people, he might have put something in that. Such a thought is there means you can never eat that. So the impressions, karma ashaya, ashaya means the resultant of an activity, and no impression forms without an activity. You see a snake, you have seen snake stinging or snake biting, and you have heard somebody has told you that he was bitten by a snake, cobra, and he died. That is why there is a fear for cobra. Otherwise, where is the fear for cobra? If you do not know the cobra bite will not die. Many people die with this snake bite. Many people go panic out of fear. There may not be any venom at all. When the cobra bites also, there need not be any venom, any poison. But the fear will kill you. Sometimes only there will be poison. Many times there will not be poison. But the fear is there. So that fear is the effect of an impression in the mind, the karma ashayaha. That is only creating all problems actually. If that is not there, all the problems are solved. Karma means the karma will burn, the karma means burn the effect of the karmas. And this sutra, what they say is, klesha mulaha, the cause for all these problems are the impressions that you carry in this birth and sometimes the earlier also. Certain conclusions they come that the impressions need not be the experiences we gain this time. A child, a human child, will walk into if the mother is taking bath in Ganga, the child doesn't know that I will drown. It will enter into that and it will drown and die. But if a hen and the chicken are there, small one, babies, they will not enter. They know that water will drown me. In the coastal areas like Kerala and in the Orissa and the coast where there is marshy area, in the low-lying areas where there are ponds, water stagnation will be there, small pond will be there. And in some of the houses, they have poultry. They have poultry means they will have hen and they will have duck also. Both are there. The egg of a duck and the hen will almost look alike. Those who are very competent, they can distinguish between this is the hen's egg, this is the duck's egg, like that. even the hen will not know that it is the duck's egg. So they will place the egg for hatching. The duck's egg will be placed in the hen's cage, and the hen will hatch the egg and the duck will come out. The duck will come out, the baby hen will also come out when that is there. The duck will go to the water. The chicken will not go. How this baby, newborn baby, which has no knowledge about water, swimming and other things, from where it learned swimming, why the other thing has not learned swimming, why you did not learn swimming when you are a boy, child. So they know that this is good for me, it will go and swim. The monkeys, the monkey, baby monkeys, they hold on to their mother. When they are born, the mother takes care of the babies. But mother will not take care of the baby like the cat takes care of the baby. The cat, the tiger, the lioness, they will actually take the baby, keep it there, and after some time out of fear it will take it and keep it this side. All these things so the baby will keep on like this, like some of our young boys always sleeping. And the mother will take care of it. Whereas in the case of a monkey, it will do like this. It has to hold on to the mother. The baby will hold on to the mother. The mother will not catch hold of it will not take care of the baby. It will feed everything, but you have to hold on to me. I will not take care of you. Whereas the cat's baby says, you have delivered me, it is your duty, you take care of me until I grow up. Why this difference? They are newborns. And this is a famous example in the Vedanta also. Marjara Kishora Nyaya. Anybody told you? Markata Kishora Nyaya. In the case of surrender to God, later on maybe our Chaudhary ji may tell you, the devotees, they say, the masters say to the devotees, you have to hold on to God, you have to surrender. You have to hold on to Him as the baby monkey holds on to the mother. You have to hold on to his feet. No, that is not required. You cannot hold on. In all His mercy, He will hold on to you. He will take care of you. You just be quiet. He will take care of you. Like the cat takes care of its baby, He will take care of you. That much surrender you have. I will not know anything. You take care of me. So it is Markata and its Kishora. Markata means monkey. Marjara means cat. So the surrender is like the cat's surrender. No, it is monkey's surrender. Like that, two types of surrender theories are there. So these are the duck by itself knows that I should go there. So these are adrishta janma vedaniya, something you have acquired earlier. Even before you are born, you have acquired that knowledge was. So Patanjali says that these kleshas are from you acquired now, or you might have acquired earlier. And these are all can be burnt. The previous sutra is Dhyanaheyaha Tadvrittayaha. All these things, impressions can be wiped out by the meditation, process of meditation. That means the karmas can be wiped out. Okay? She has written from Jnanagni. Jnanagni Dakta Karmani. Bhaspasad Kuriti Arjuna is also there. Jnanagni Bhaspasad Kuriti Arjuna. From there she has written, not from the sutra. So the knowledge will wipe out all these things. Meditation will wipe out all the impressions. Whatever be the impressions. Then the karma is of no bondage to you. The karma is no bondage to you. So, klesha moolaha, karma ashayaha. All these impressions are the cause for these problems, and this you have acquired either here or earlier also. Then he says, Sati Mule Tadvipagaha Jati Ayur Bhogaha. Sati Mule Tadvipago Jati Ayur Bhogaha. As long as these impressions are there, in order to undergo the pain or pleasure of those impressions, you will be born in a particular jati. Means does not mean the caste. Jati means category. Jati in Sanskrit means category. Human, Manushya jati, Pashu jati, like that. Animals. So jati. So as long as these impressions are there, and to enjoy the pain or pleasure of that, you will be born in that category. And accordingly, the lifespan will be there. And the bhoga means the pain or pleasure will also be there. So the pain or pleasure will be there according to the impressions here. Suppose I say that one example I gave you, suddenly you understand that there is a scorpion below the seat. Then the fear comes. Suppose if you are sitting here for 2 months, first 10 days you will be worried. First keep on looking at it. After 10th day, somehow slowly it will wane out. The fear will not be there. Then you forget and then you sit. Whenever the thought comes, then only you will. So all the problems you have faced, you will be facing, has got a lifespan. It will not permanently disturb you. No problem will permanently disturb you. Even a cancer patient who is declared he will die in 10 days. The moment he hears that, he will be worried. After that, 2-3 days after that, he will be watching some TV match and he will be cutting a joke and he will be enjoying also. He will be eating a food. The moment you hear about it, you will not have hunger. After some time, what will happen? He will not remain in satyagraha, fasting. After 2 days, all right, anyway I am going to die, he will eat something. There will be peace also. So every problem, as long as the roots are there, accordingly you are placed in such a situation, and the time frame will be there, ayu will be there, and the pain will also be there, pain or pleasure will be there. Ayur bhoga, these are all very simple things. Little you have to apply your common sense only. Too much logic, too much complication you should not do. Simple things are true. As long as they are. For this I give a different example actually. I give an example of a fruit vendor, which I really have seen actually. The fruit vendors, those who sell fruits, sometimes they sell in the rain, sometimes they sell during summer. So the old man, is selling fruits. Every day he brings in a trolley and then he sells standing in the sun for quite some time. And then sell it and evening he takes back. So he gets fed up. One day he thinks, this is enough. I want to stop this business. Okay, it is enough, he thinks. So the fruit vendor actually, what he does, he initially, the day he started his business, he go to the wholesale market and buy about 500 fruits. All the 500 will not be ripe. So he has to keep it in a trolley. The other fellow says the closed container. He creates boxes he sells. So we will not know one box this much. So when you open and see some are ripe, some are not ripe. So what he says means he will sort out because people will pick up, select. So he knows that they will select, they will not select this, why I carry all these things. So out of the 500, maybe 100 numbers, he keep it in his house and 400 he brings to the market. And so the 400, assume that he sells all the 400. Then the moment he sells the 400, he will buy for tomorrow's sale something also. Tomorrow's sale again he buys 400 out of this. And then he puts it along with the other 100 and makes it 500. Out of that again he selects some 350 or 450 like that and brings here. So there is always a stock in his home and he sell every day. He sell it out. And then from that sale proceeds he buy and then plow back it into the stock. So these three processes will be going on in a sales, whatever be the sales. Even our langar also they buy, they have some stock, then spend every day in eating and then again buy. So this circle is going on. If he wants to stop his business, first thing he should do is no more acquisition. No more acquiring. Once these are all sold out, then no more coming to market. This is what is told us the karma theory. You are spending all your impressions you are spending here, your fear for this is going away. But at the same time, new fear you will develop. The dog will bite, the monkey will bite. New fear you will develop. New relationship, new hatred. But something you are spending, something you are buying and adding also. So this is going on. So if you want to be free, no more new acquisitions. Then the old acquisitions will be burned out. So Patanjali says, Sati Mule, as long as it is there, Tadvipagaha, the fruition of that will be there. The effect of that will be there. And that will be undergone with pleasure or pain. Bhoga means pleasure or pain. Then generally bhoga, pleasure only he says. Now he says, Te Khlata Paritapa Palaha Punya Apunya Hetutvat Te Khlata Paritapa Palaha Punya Apunya Hetutvat. All these impressions are khlada. Khlada means akhlada. They may make you happy. Paritapa, they can make you unhappy also. The impressions can make you happy or make you unhappy. If it is good, so you come and tell me, I said, oh, wonderful boy, you become happy. You stupid idiot, you become unhappy. Khlata palaha, paritapa palaha. And depends upon the punya and apunya. The word used is punya. If good activities are there, the good results are there. The bad activities are there, the bad results are there. You tell a lie to a person and you suspect that he has understood. Then when you look at him, what effect will be there in your mind? He has not told you anything. You have stolen somebody's money. My room, you come and steal my money. And then when I look at your eyes, what will you think? Somebody has stolen my money, I do not know who, I say. Then you look at my eyes. You will have fear to look at my eyes. Is it okay? Even the big culprits, they have also this problem. So that it will be always there. Punya phala is there, apunya phala is there. That fear will be there. Whether I will be caught. Every moment you will be sitting on pinpricks. Some people do some crime. That recently I read in papers. 40 years, 50 years after that they go and confess. The case will not be there. Why you confess now, they will say. Then why you have confessed? All these days were nightmares to me. Now confessed, then there is freedom. Whatever punishment you give, I will agree. Recently one person went and told in the Kuwait that he knocked out a child. He was 19 years old and he was driving a car and he knocked out a child. One child died, the other child injured. He went drove away. And then after 25 years he comes and confesses. And they find that the records are not there. Then somebody asked him, why you come and tell this now? All these days, this was troubling my mind. He had a child. When he looks at his child, then this fear comes. So many cases are there. Even recently that after 45 years, some German has confessed something, who was in the Nazis period, did all wrong things. So he says, Padnyaputte khlada paritapa palaha, some are happy, that makes you happy, joy, gives you joy, and some gives you pain. Then but he says, Patanjali says, Parinama tapa samskara dukkaihi gunavritti virodacha dukkhameva sarvam vivekinaha. Parinama tapa samskara dukkaihi gunavritti virodacha dukkhameva sarvam vivekinaha. Although we say that they are akhlada, that gives you joy. In the ultimate analysis, even the joy ends in dukkha. Parinama dukkha, the pleasure will end in dukkha only. All the pleasures will end up in dukkha. Parinama dukkha. And while enjoying also there is tapa, there is dukkha. And it gives an impression again, the desire to have it again. So in the ultimate analysis, parinama dukkha, tapa dukkha, and samskara dukkaihi, everything is ultimately painful. You keep on eating. You sit and eat like this. Now you sit and eat. After eating, the belly becomes full. Then you become like this. Then you have to do like this. And some people lift the plate and do like this. And while eating, you are perspiring. You look at this. When the April-May course means everybody will look at the fan. The fan is rotating, but still that you are perspiring. And afterwards, you will not be able to walk up the uphill. It should have been downhill. You could have rolled for the academies on the uphill. Very difficult. So ultimately, all the pleasures end up in dukkha, he says. Parinama dukkha, parinama tapa samskara dukkha, parinama dukkha, tapa dukkha, and samskara dukkha, vritti virodacha. Then there is a conflict also there. Dukkhameva sarvam vivekinaha. All the pleasures in life are painful. They will end in, goes like this graph and then comes down. In the physics they call it as modulus limit. The drunkards, they say, drink to hilarious condition, don't go beyond that. Afterwards, you will collapse. So, Parinama Dukkha, ultimately it ends in Dukkha only. Therefore, Patanjali says, you should avoid, what you have to do is, before burning up all those effects, first you have to do is no more acquisition. First thing. Therefore, he says, Heyam Dukkham Anagatam. Heyam Dukkham Anagatam. Anagata means what? You understand? Anagata Dukkha. Agata Dukkha, you cannot do anything. Anagata Dukkha, that which has not come to you, that first you stop. No more acquisition of Dukkha, pain. I will not invite any more problem hereafter. Then afterwards, you can avoid, you can find out what are the dukkha's available, how to root it out. Suppose if you are doing a business and the business there is loss, continuously loss. Somebody will tell you, you do that and you can, that is again another loss. So then what have, now hereafter I will not do anything to cause further loss. And then how to rectify this you have to think. So very simple thing, as what we do in the normal life, that only you have to do here. There is no new technique. If somebody says some new technique is there, it is not there. But you have to do it. Heyam Dukkham Anagata. Anagata Dukkha you have to avoid. No more commitment to anything. No more acquisition of new things. Whatever is there is enough. My nature is happiness. These things, going behind all these things make me happy. Will make me happy. This foolish idea has created all these problems. So I will not be crazy about anything. No more carving. No more craziness. So Anagata Dukkha, Heyam Dukkham Anagata, simple language actually. Anagata Dukkha you avoid, he says. And then he says, Drishtradasyayoho Samyogo Heya Hetuhu. Drishtradasyayoho Samyogo Heya Hetuhu. Why there is a desire for something? Why we run behind it? Why we get agitated to get that? Because we consider that the other thing will make me happy. If I get that, I will become happy. That thought, that impression makes you to run behind it. And when you get it, you don't get that happiness, you find the happiness has gone to, shifted to something else. So the drashta, the drik thinks that the object will make me happy. That is actually causing the trouble. So this union of the seer and the seen has to be avoided.